Hi everyone, and welcome to the first book review of 2014. This video I'm going to be reviewing Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James. I first saw Death Comes to Pemberley in the bookstore, and what caught my eye was actually the cover design as well as the title, Death Comes to Pemberley. I quickly picked up the book to learn more about it and what it actually was, and I came to find that it takes place 6 years after Pride and Prejudice, and it is a murder mystery novel. The majority of the novel obviously takes place at Pemberley. Actually, the majority of the novel takes place at Pemberley, and we learn that the Darcys are currently in the planning of their annual ball when Mrs. Lydia Wickham shows up in hysterics screaming that Wickham has been murdered, and thus the plot thickens. I have to say right away that when I first picked up the novel, I was really excited because I love Pride and Prejudice, I love Jane Austen, and to be able to immerse myself in that world once again, I was really excited. Now that I am done reading Death Comes to Pemberley, I am actually on the fence about it. On the one hand, I got to revisit Pride and Prejudice and the characters that I loved. On the other, this is P.D. James' version of Jane Austen's characters, and let's be honest, Jane Austen is a tough act to follow. Naturally, all of the hardcore Jane Austen fans, I'm sure, are up in arms because I don't think P.D. James quite captured everything that you loved about Pride and Prejudice. One of the things that was glaringly obvious as I was reading was that I was being spoon-fed Pride and Prejudice. Instead of really building upon what we have previously read in Pride and Prejudice, she was sort of just rehashing the story of Darcy and Elizabeth and things that had happened in Pride and Prejudice. I really wish there would have been less focus on retelling that story and more focus on the life that they had at the moment and their relationship. Pride and Prejudice very much centers around Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy, and I didn't feel like we got a lot of that romance connection in this novel, which was disappointing, but still, I enjoyed the book. However, I'm sure one of the reasons that many people have actually picked up this book is because it was Pride and Prejudice, and it was the relationship that they loved between Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth. So for it to sort of lack that relationship between the two, I was kind of surprised and let down. I mean, it wasn't completely gone, it just, I think the fangirl in me wanted more of that. By the end, I felt like I was a little child begging for crumbs, anything that she would give me. And I don't think that's a really good feeling that you want your readers to have. On another sort of negative note, it's been a long time since I've read an actual mystery novel, and even I knew that the mystery in this novel was falling a little flat. It was sort of bland to me. I already dislike a certain character. Just the mysteries surrounding this person and all the details. I mean, it was enjoyable, but it just wasn't like, ooh, ah, awesome. Which was surprising because P.D. James is actually in the International Crime Writing Hall of Fame. So you'd think that the crime and the mystery would have a little bit more punch to it than it did. So because of P.D. James herself, expectations were high, but delivery was low. And in spite of all of that being said, I still enjoyed the novel. It served its purpose, it entertained me and captured my attention. But it was definitely P.D. James's versions of Austen's world and not Jane Austen herself. On that note, I do have to say that I saw the BBC's adaptation of Death Comes to Pemberley, and I actually enjoyed it more than the book. I think that is the first time in my life, at least as far as I can remember, that I actually like the adaptation better than the book. It's weird. I know. Overall, I give Death Comes to Pemberley a solid 3. I don't love it, and I don't hate it. It is what it is. If you're a huge fan of P.D. James and a huge fan of Jane Austen, I would say give it a go, but just kind of lower your expectations a little, and I think you'll be right on the money. That was my review of Death Comes to Pemberley. I wanted to go ahead and share with you what I am currently reading, and that would be How I Live Now by Meg Rosoff. I Am Malayla. I'm really excited about I Am Malayla, and I can't wait to finish it and I can't wait to review it. I just have a feeling that I'm going to fall in love with this novel, and the fact that I'm just at the beginning just makes me really happy and excited. Just One Year by Gail Forman. I've already finished Just One Day by Gail Forman, but I wanted to wait until I finished this novel to do a duology book review. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. You will see me very soon. Bye!